Welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time of coming across this channel, please don't hesitate to click on the subscribe button. So today we're going to talk about a very heartbreaking story that happened in the town of Barron, Wisconsin in the United States of America. So if you've been on this channel, if you've been watching my videos, I just started YouTube channel not long ago, like 3 months ago, and I have been covering crimes that happened all over the world except the ones that happened in Africa, because for now I'm still very scared of watching crime stories that happened in Africa, because it's very close to home, let alone the ones that happened in Nigeria, my home country. So for now I'm still very much freaked out watching or reading or studying or researching crimes that happen around my continent, let alone my own country. So if you are surprised seeing an African covering crimes that happen all over the world, and you've not heard me cover crimes that happen in Nigeria or crimes that happen in Africa as a whole, just know that for now I don't consume those contents and I don't research them, because they are too close to home and I'm freaked out. I'm scared, I must confess. I love spooky stories, I love true crimes, but I feel more safer consuming the ones that happen other places in the world for now. And let's see how long it takes me to be bold enough or to have the mental capacity to cover crimes that happen in my own home country and in the one that happens around my continent. So for now, let's talk about the case of Jayme Closs. This case happened in Wisconsin in 2018, not too long ago. 2018, just like 7 years ago. So most times if I read on these cases, if I research on these cases, this type of crimes usually happened like 1980s. The 80s were like filled with this type of crime, but this one happened in 2018. So Jayme Closs was a young girl, 13 years old, that was born on 13th of July 2005. So she was known to be a very good girl. She was calm. She was known to like the things that normal 13-year-olds like. She would go to school. She hangs out with her parents. She was an only child. She's an only child. So she had her parents, James Closs and Denise Closs. So she grew up in the loving arms of her parents, and they had a very close-knit family. They were like a normal family, a normal American family, known to like go out on games. The dad was known to be a fan of football, and they would go out. Jayme loves dancing. She likes playing. She likes hanging. She loved hanging out with her friends. So she was just a normal 13-year-old American girl. So on this day, one of the days that she was going to school, the school bus stopped in front of her house, and so she came out of the house to go get onto the bus. One car that was behind the school bus was just stood there, and the occupant of that car was just watching Jayme. And after that day, that car would normally pass in front of Jayme's house to watch Jayme. He found out Jayme's school. Jayme was in Rayview Middle School in Wisconsin, in Barron, Wisconsin. So this car would go up and down and monitor Jayme's movement. So the occupant of that car was Jake Patterson. Jake Patterson was a 21-year-old boy that was born in June 1997. So this boy was known to be very short-tempered. He grew up in a family of 5. He had two elder sister and a brother, and Jake's parents had divorced earlier on in his life, so he got to live with his mom for some time before he was able to reunite with his dad. So he lived with his mom a couple of years. But while living with his mom, Jake was known to be a young boy that would stay on his own. He doesn't like mixing up with people, and it was said that he tortures animals. He would pick up roadkill on the road and go home and like perform taxidermy on them, stuff them with things and hang them on the wall and stuff like that. He was just doing bizarre things as a young boy, and he would grow up, and while he would grow up like that, and he was never really stopped those things, and he was still like short-tempered. And then he moved to his father's cabin when he grew up. So he moved to his father's cabin and started staying with his brother Eric, and that was where he stayed. And Jake doesn't have criminal record. He doesn't have any criminal record. He was just like a short-tempered boy and living his life. And at the time, all the few friends that he had after school, he just stopped talking with them and just started staying on his own and stayed very, very much alone. His brother Eric moved out of the house. His dad moved out of that cabin and maybe rented another house, and Jake was just alone in that cabin. And from there he started thinking that maybe his life would be better if he had a girlfriend, or if he had friends, if he had a girl, particularly a girlfriend, if he had a girlfriend, that his life would be better. So that was what he was thinking. But for Jake, being the kind of person he is, he didn't think to go out and maybe like talk to a girl, or maybe through the internet, maybe get a girlfriend through there. He never thought of that. What he thought of was that he was going to abduct someone, kidnap someone, and forcefully like make the person his girlfriend. That was what he thought. Thinking about it continuously. And on one day that he was, because Jake doesn't really know how to keep a job. He would have a job and he would go there. After a day, he would leave that job. He worked at a turkey processing plant, and after one day he left that plant. He left that work. He didn't go back there anymore. Then he got a job at a cheese factory. So on one of the days that he got a job at a cheese factory, then he went there for 2 days. And on one of the days that Jake was going to work, he saw a 13-year-old girl come out of a house and about to enter her school bus. So he was parked behind the school bus. So he was there waiting for the school bus to move before he can move. So as he was there, he was just watching this girl, and the girl was Jayme Closs. So, and according to Jake, the girl had blonde hair with green eyes, the kind of person that he was looking for to make his girlfriend. So Jayme entered the school bus, and the school bus left. So from time to time, like I said before, Jake would come back and monitor Jayme's home. He will monitor her movements, everything, just trying to like calculate, because he had started fixating on this girl, that this is the girl that he wants to abduct to make his girlfriend. So in October, because he had thought about it, he has thought about the whole thing, he has planned it, he has thought about the whole thing. He had gone to Walmart to buy clothes, black clothes that he would use for this. He shaved off his whole hair because he didn't want his DNA to be in that house, in Jayme's house when he would go there. He bought hand gloves, he bought a ski mask, he bought everything. In fact, he was really preparing for this. He had gone to one of his neighbor's house and stolen their car plate number to change it to its own, so that even if he was caught on any CCTV camera, they would not be able to find him. He repainted his car. He did a lot of things, and in preparation for this thing, then his boot, the boot or the trunk of his car had a button that you would, in fact, either you press from inside that inside the trunk, inside that boot. If you press that button, maybe the boot will open. He cut off the wire linking that would make that thing work, because he was planning to put Jayme inside the boot. So on one of the days in October, he went to Jayme's house. That first day he went there, he found that the car that a car there, the car parked in front of Jayme's house had the lights on. So he was spooked and he left. So he didn't muster enough courage to enter inside their house, so he just drove off. Then the next time he tried, he went to Jayme's house and found out that the light the someone just maybe someone downstairs just switched on a light. Immediately he tried to like drive into their driveway, he found out that someone switched on the light. So he was spooked. He felt that maybe someone is still awake, that he can't do this thing today, that he have to leave. So he left that day. So the third time, he had already decided in his heart that if today, no matter what is happening, that he's going to abduct this girl today. So he drove to Jayme's house and parked there. Immediately parked because Jayme had a very good little friend, a dog named Molly, that is her very very good friend that she goes everywhere with. So that dog was sleeping on Jayme's bed, and immediately the dog, dogs, they are usually they have like their ears can hear anything. So immediately the dog sensed danger, sensed that someone parked in their driveway. The dog barked and Jayme woke up. Jayme woke up and looked out on the out of the window and saw someone wearing black from head to toe. So she was very scared. So she ran to her parents' room and woke her mom and her dad up and told them to look out the window, see this person. So her dad just felt that maybe it was a police officer or someone, maybe someone from the authorities. So he went to the door and opened and asked, what are you doing here? Who are you? And immediately Jake raised the handgun that he was with and shot Jayme's dad. So before Jayme's dad went to answer the door, he had already told Jayme's mom and Jayme to go and hide. So immediately they had that shot, they ran and hid in their bedroom and used their shower curtain to cover themselves and barricaded themselves inside that bathroom. And Jake came into the house and started searching everywhere because he knew that was Jayme's house, and he was targeting Jayme, and he believed in fact he has decided that he will not leave the house except he's living with Jayme. So he was searching the whole place and then found out that the door to their bathroom was locked. So he tried to push it. He used his leg to march on that door and trying to force the door in to be able to enter there. Then with the force and all the things that he was doing to the door, the door broke and he got into the toilet. And as he was trying to enter that bedroom, that was when Jayme's mom noticed that she was with her phone. So she placed a call to 911, trying to tell them what was happening. And as she was doing that, she was mumbling and trying to tell them that someone came into their house. Jake just came into that toilet. The call just lasted for like 20 seconds. Jake came into the bathroom and took the phone from Jayme's mom and off the phone and told Jayme's mom to leave Jayme, because Jayme's mom was shielding Jayme. She didn't want she was protecting her child. That's her only child. So she didn't want anybody to interfere. She didn't want anything to happen to her baby. But Jake was telling her to leave Jayme. The woman was still protecting her child. So Jake just looked, as in try told her to give her he gave her a duct tape to duct tape Jamie's mouth, but the woman was shaking, she was shivering, she couldn't even do that. Then as she was trying to do all of that, that was when Jake looked out. He couldn't. When he was caught, he said he couldn't look the woman, or he didn't look the Dennis on her face. She couldn't look at Dennis as he shot the gun. She just saw shot Dennis, and while looking away, shot Dennis, and then just that one shot, she collapsed on the floor and died. So he took Jayme. Even as they were going out, Jayme was already, they were sleeping on the floor because blood was everywhere. Took Jayme and got outside and placed her into the trunk, slammed the trunk shut, entered into his car and drove off. All these things that happened between 4 minutes to 5 minutes, to tell you how little, how fast this kind of thing anything can happen within 5 minutes. All these things happened within 5 minutes, and they finished and just started driving off through the US Highway 8. As he was driving off, the police were coming. So when he saw the police, he was shivering, thinking that he had been caught. And in fact, he even like tried to park a little, so that the police, to him, he felt he had been caught. So the police, because they didn't know what was happening, they just got a distress call from Jayme's house. So they were going to answer the call. They are going to investigate what is happening. So they didn't really they didn't know that the perpetrator of whatever crime that they were going to answer, that they were going to investigate, is the person driving off with someone, with a child in his trunk. So he passed they passed each other, and he drove to 70 miles from Jayme's house to a cabin inside the woods. So where he had been staying all this while, where his family were living, even his dad lived there for a long while. So he drove there because everybody had left. His sister, his brother, his father. So he's the only one staying in that cabin. So he just drove there and brought out Jayme and took Jayme into the house. So before he even went to go on this killing spree, he had already prepared under his bed where Jayme would be staying. So he took Jayme and pushed Jayme showed Jayme where he would stay under his bed. He had decorated it with blankets and pillows. So Jayme slept under his bed, and he used some bean bags that he had put some weight to barricade under that place, so that Jayme will not be able to come out. He did that place so that Danny wouldn't be able to come out. So he slept off that day, feeling, and then this was what was happening. The next day, he read Jayme the rules that she shouldn't shout, she tried to escape, that if she escaped, that he would find her and kill her. So it told her different things, that she should just stay there quietly, that this will be her house for forever, that now that she doesn't have mom and dad, that this would be where she would be forever with him. So Jayme stayed there. Jayme stayed under that bed. Sometimes he would bring her out and they would watch television. So for the first 2 weeks, he would try to talk to Jayme, try to get Jayme, because the reason why he kidnapped Jayme was to make her his friend, and from there maybe hopefully make her his girlfriend. So he was talking to Jayme. Jayme would not respond to him because Jayme was still mourning her parents. She was still in shock. This thing happened, and you are talking to her, and you are the perpetrator of the mother of her parents. Why are you talking to her? So she would not talk to him. She would not eat. Then he started threatening her after the 2 weeks that if she doesn't talk to him, that he would deal with her and kill her and stuff like that. So because Jayme had seen him in action, so Jayme really obeyed him and started talking with him. They started discussing, and Jayme will see will be what they watch TV, and because he felt that he had done everything, did everything right, that he would never be caught, so he started becoming cocky. He on Saturday, every Saturday that Jayme was there, he would bring his dad. His dad would visit him, though his dad didn't know someone was there with him, so he would tell Jayme to go under the bed, and he will increase the volume of his music and in that room. And his dad, I guess maybe he's used to loud music or something, so the dad never questioned him, and the dad would spend the Saturday with him and leave. And that was what was happening. He will bring out Jayme, and they would discuss, and anytime he feels that maybe one or two of his friends are coming, he would ask Jayme to stay under the bed and increase the volume of his music. And that was what was happening. Today he felt so cocky that on Christmas Day he invited his whole family to that cabin and did the same thing. Alan told Jayme to stay under the bed, increase the music, and he celebrated Christmas Day with his family, laughing, playing, and all that. So none of his family knew what was really happening. And Jayme, from that 15th of October, stayed there till January 10th. 88 days after she was kidnapped. That was the day that Jake told her that he was going that he was going out, and that he would come back in 5 to 6 hours. I don't know what gave him the right, I don't know what made him so cocky to tell her that he will come back in 5 to 6 hours. So Jayme, being a very smart girl, because she had already started planning her escape, because after waiting there for like 4 weeks, she started feeling that maybe she would never be found, because the place that she was staying was very remote. It would be hard for the people to even think that she was there. So, and during that her abduction, after her abduction, the FBI has already been involved in the case, and they brought out to $25,000, that anyone that finds Jayme will be able to take that as the reward money. And her parents' company, they were working in that turkey company, that turkey processing company that Jake worked for only 1 day. So they were working there, and that turkey company also matched that 25,000, making it 50,000 reward money for anyone that will find Jayme, that will tell them anything reasonable about finding Jayme. And 2,000 people came out to help to look for Jayme. Now that's like 2/3 of people that were staying in that small town of Barron, Wisconsin. So, and Jayme her face was plastered all over billboards in the whole of Wisconsin, and even all over the country. And people were praying. People were even Jayme's aunt came out on television and was asking people that people should please help her bring Jayme home. So her face was plastered all over the country. Everybody knew that a 13-year-old Jayme Closs was missing. People were praying that she would be found. But by that 3 months, people have started losing hope, because if there is any abduction, if there is any kidnapping, most times the window of hope is usually 72 hours. After that 72 hours, most people will start thinking that maybe the person abducted had been killed or something like that. So, but that was not the case in Jayme's case. Jayme, as at that 88 day, Jayme was still alive. And on that 88 days, Jake told her that he was going out and he would be out for like 5 to 6 hours. She felt that is it, that today I'm going to leave this house. And prior to that day, Jayme had been using her leg to push those dead weights that Jay placed to shield her from coming out or from underneath that bed. So she had been using her leg to push those dead weight, and luckily some had been able to create a little hole. So that day that Jake set out, Jayme just came out of that little hole and then ran out of the cabin. She wore Jake's shoes. The shoes were even not matching. She just wore the shoes and ran out of the cabin. She was not even wearing appropriate clothing for that weather, for that Wisconsin weather. That time, that January, Wisconsin had they are in their winter, and everywhere was just so chilly. The photos, you see that snow was everywhere. So with the clothing that she was wearing, she just came out of the cabin and she didn't know where she was. So she was just walking on the road, searching, trying to see anyone that she can see so that she would tell the person her story. Luckily for her, she found a lady walking her dog, Jeannie Nutter. So this Jeannie Nutter, she social worker. In fact, everything aligned for Jayme that day. So this Jeannie, she's a social worker trained on mental health and all of that. So when she saw Jayme, she was like, this is not a regular teenager, maybe coming out of her house. See the way she's dressed in this winter. She's not wearing appropriate clothing, and her shoes doesn't match. So she was still trying to she was still thinking about that in her mind. And when Jayme came to her and told her that her name is Jayme Closs and she was kidnapped by Jake Patterson, so immediately Jeannie heard that, because Jayme's face was plastered all over the place. So she or her own knew Jayme. So she just took, she was already, immediately she told her, she took her to the nearest cabin close to where she found her and told the owner of the house, to call 911 and explain to the lady that this is Jayme Closs that was missing. Explained her story to the lady, and the lady also knew what was happening. So she placed a call to the police, and the came there. They saw Jayme and they took Jayme into their car and they were driving. So as they were driving, Jayme saw Jake's car coming to them, close to them. Apparently Jake had gone home and seen that Jayme was no longer there. So he came out of the house driving around to track Jayme, because Jayme made footprints on the snow. So he was trying to trace to find Jayme.
I have
and he ran into the police, and immediately he ran into the police. The police stopped him and he came down. He said, yes, I did it. He did not even lie or say anything or try to defend himself. He said, I did it, and he was arrested and taken to the police station. And after during questioning, he said he confessed everything, told them how he did it, even the gun that he used, that the shotgun that he used. He made sure that he got the one that is very commonly used around that area, that even though the police saw the bullet casings, they would not be able to place it. Would take them time to place the gun that came out of, because he planned the murder very well so that he will not be caught. So he explained everything, the way it happened to them, and they didn't. He said he doesn't want Jayme to suffer. He doesn't want Jayme to face the court. He doesn't want Jayme to relive those bad experiences. That's why he had to confess, and he doesn't want. He pleaded guilty, that he doesn't want a trial, and that was how he was sentenced to 2 life sentences. And for the abduction, he was sentenced to 40 years. So he will spend the rest of his life in prison. So as for Jayme was reunited with her family. Well, she was reunited with her aunt. So her aunt was very happy to see her, because her own story was a story of survival. Most people that go through that ordeal don't come out of it alive. So she was a hero. Her courage was able to save her from this evil story. From So because of Jayme's courage in escaping this very devastating trauma that she found herself in, she was awarded the hometown hero of her hometown. Awarded the hometown hero award by the Wisconsin state. So she was known all over there as a hero, someone that had a lot of courage, someone that had a lot of strength to be able to overcome this. So a lot of people are inspired by her story, and this story keeps telling, reminding us that evil is everywhere, and you may not do anything special to be able to attract evil. This Jayme's family does not know Jake Patterson from anywhere. Even though Jake worked a day for a working place, that turkey processing plant, they didn't know each other. That place was too big. They never met each other, and this Jake was able to perpetrate this type of crime against this family, a family that he had never met, because he wanted to kidnap their daughter and make her his girlfriend. I just thank God, because according to him, there was nothing sexual. He didn't do any sexual thing to Jayme, and that's the only little light in this. A little. Apart from that, there was, I don't know why he did this. I don't know what gave him that kind of mind to do something like that. This kind of case, it scares the living daylight out of me, because he didn't do anything to her. And imagine the kind of PTSD this girl would have, like waking up. She would dream of that, of seeing someone that dressed all over in black standing in front of her window. She would dream of that for a very long time before she would be able to, like, forget it and start recuperating from whatever this is. So this is the story of Jayme Closs, and if you like this type of stories, please make suggestions on the comment section, so that I'll be able to tell more stories, especially survival stories. So if you have not subscribed to this channel, please try to subscribe, and thank you very much for watching, and have a wonderful day. Stay safe, stay curious, and stay alert. Thank you. Bye.